Good morning, all. Faculty, staff, friends, and families. I would like to thank you so much for joining us on this incredible morning. My name is Noah Finko, and despite the incredibly flattering introduction I got from Dr. Figueroa, there is nothing else you need to know about me other than the fact that I am one of you, a graduate from the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse. Now, seeing that I'm one of you, it gives me the distinct pleasure of knowing the question that's on everyone's minds, which is something to the effect of, what do I do now? And I'm sorry to say that I'm not here to answer that question, and the truth is, only you can answer that question. But what I can do instead is offer you some lessons I've learned in my time here at UWL, either from people far more intelligent than myself, or by screwing up in some spectacular fashion. I cannot guarantee that you'll find any of it amusing, inspiring, or even comprehensible, but my hope is you'll find a little nugget of wisdom in there to take with you as you go off and do the things that you'll do. So with that, here are Noah's 11 lessons to living a semi-decent life. TM. Number 1, having a dream is overrated. There is a common adage that goes, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Like eating a cake, fulfilling a dream tastes sweet, but for only a short amount of time, and then it is gone and you're left wondering what to do next. Instead of having one big cake or one giant dream, I offer you to instead make cupcakes. Because for the same amount of time, effort, and resources it takes to have one giant dream or bake one giant cake, you can make 12 to 24 cupcakes and extend that sweet taste over a long period of time, and if you do it right, perhaps even a lifetime. If I lost you in my sweets metaphor, having one singular dream can cause you to have tunnel vision, which may make you miss some incredible opportunities that lie within your periphery. Make small, attainable goals and put 100% of your effort into what's in front of you, but do not be afraid to explore, because you never know what you might find. Number 2, a plan is only good until it's not. There are 2 types of pregnancies in this world, planned and unplanned, and both of them led to you all. Now, I'm not saying don't plan, because you absolutely should, right, parents? But you cannot go through life expecting everything to go according to plan. If there's something to be said about life after graduation, it's that it's far more chaotic and unpredictable. Being a skilled planner is as important as being a skilled improviser. And with any skill, it needs to be both practiced and appreciated. Number 3, be a student. Yes, we've graduated. No more tests, quizzes, and exams, right? Well, some of us have some tomorrow, so wrong. Your diploma does not signify that you know everything that there is to know about whatever your degree is in. It's a certification that you are teachable. So be exactly that. Be teachable. Ask questions, seek advice, study the world around you. Though you may no longer be encouraged to attend the office hours of your professors, I strongly encourage you to attend the office hours of your mentors. Everything in life is a test, only this time there is no syllabus, and nobody will answer you truthfully if you raise your hand and ask, is this going to be on the exam? Number 5, be a teacher. Teachers are some of the most important people in our society, and I'd like to take a round of applause for everyone studying education within this room. Now that that's done and over with, I want you also to know that you don't have to be working in a school to be a teacher. Share the knowledge and skills you've acquired here, and remember that teaching is only 10% what you say and 90% what you do. Your students, your employees, and your children will emulate what you do far more than what you say. So do the things you want them to do and show them how to do it. If you do nothing else in your time after graduation, I ask that you strive to be the giants whose shoulders the next generation can stand upon. Number 6, be hard on your beliefs. Be intellectually rigorous, identify your biases, your prejudices, and your privileges. Constantly and thoroughly examine your opinions so that you can have the confidence to stand beside them when the moment arises. Know also that one's beliefs only make up a small percentage of who they are, and you can still love someone with vastly different beliefs than you. You can still love your parents even if they vote for a different candidate than you. You can still love your friend even if they practice a different religion than you, and you can still love your uncle even if he believes the moon landing was a hoax and the government is populated by lizard people. We all have one of those. Number 7, learn to listen. As I said before, listening is a skill, and with any skill, it needs to be both practiced and appreciated. Two people trying to converse while being unwilling to listen to one another is much like two chess masters executing perfect chess moves on two separate chessboards. Though they both may think of themselves as the winner, everybody's a loser, and it was a massive waste of time. Listen to what other people are trying to say rather than focusing on how you're going to respond. Remember, too, that there is much to be learned from how someone is saying something versus what they are saying. Some of you may have noticed that I skipped number 4. If you did, you're killing it in the listening game. But to those of you who didn't, perhaps you have some work to do. Number 4, don't let fear keep you from doing the things that you want to do. Even if that thing goes poorly, knowing something is bad is far easier to deal with than wondering if it could have been good. Remember, too, that in our failure to achieve what we perceive as ideal, that's where we find our true selves and where authenticity is found. Don't think of the butterflies in your stomach as fear, but rather as the bravery building inside of you. Back on track to number 8. Don't run a marathon in a Chewbacca costume. That's it. No. This lesson was taught to me by a finance professor here, and in every marathon, everywhere, there is always someone who chooses to run it in a Chewbacca costume. And sure, it gets a few laughs at the start, but rather quickly, this individual discovers that it gets rather warm when exercising beneath a shag carpet. And yet, despite the pain they endured and their commitment to the joke, if and when they reach the end of the race, they get the exact same medal as everybody else. And that is to say that you don't get an extra reward for making things hard on yourself. And if you're doing that, it's either from an excessive amount of pride or stupidity, and I've learned both of those the hard way. Number 9, don't set yourself on fire to keep others warm. It feels good to help others, and it makes the world around us a better place. But don't let the needs of others pull your attention away from your own needs. The only way you can do the most good for the greatest number of people is if you are the best you that you can possibly be. And that means self-care and the ability to say no. Number 10, invest in experiences, not things. If you make more than $32,400 annually, you are in the top 1% in the world in terms of income. And yet, despite this affluence, the United States continues to rank as one of the most depressed countries in the world. Things don't make us happy. Experiences do. The newest iPhone costs over $1,000, and I've compiled a short list of experiences you can have rather than purchasing a phone that does the exact same thing as the previous 4 models. You could go on a road trip. $1,000 in gasoline will get you just under 9,000 miles. You could see a Broadway play with a loved one. Plays are usually $89 a ticket, $125 for special productions, and $319 for musicals. Finally, you could buy a national park annual pass. $1,000 will get you one for 11 years. That means 11 years to explore some of the most beautiful sights our Earth has to offer. And on the topic of our Earth, we only get one. Take care of it. Remember what I said earlier about being the giants whose shoulders the next generation can stand upon? This is a big part of it. Finally, number 11. There is no real world. I'm sure you've heard this all the time. Just wait until you're in the real world. We're teaching you to be in the real world, as if college was some sort of fantasy land filled with gumdrop forests and tiny singing elves. Everyone here knows that it wasn't, because the relationships you forged and the ones that you lost, the times when you thought you could go on no longer but you did, and those late nights you spent studying in your room in Murphy Library, or for some of you, after your children have gone to sleep. The love, the stress, the fear, and the triumph, all of that was real. I'd like you to take a moment and think back to the person you were when you first set on this campus, no matter how long ago it was. I would venture to guess that a very different person sits before me today. Someone once told me that college is a 2 to 6 year sliver of your life dedicated solely to the improvement of you. Do not sell that experience short. Appreciate and love the things that you've done here. Be proud of this accomplishment and celebrate it because it's absolutely worth celebrating. Today is commonly referred to as the start of a new chapter, and while this is true, I don't want you all to make the mistake in thinking it is chapter 1. Rather, it's a chapter succeeding several others of equal importance to this one. And the only way for you all to continue writing a life story worth telling is if you look back and appreciate where you've been. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse, its faculty, its staff, and students for the unforgettable experience that you've provided me. I and many of us here have made the most of this opportunity, and we are forever grateful to this institution. However, while I am grateful, I've also accumulated a fair bit of debt because of it. So if y'all could just chill on asking for donations for like a couple years, please. I promise I'll donate, just like not right away. With that, I thank you all for listening. I hope some of what I said you can apply to your lives. I congratulate you all on this accomplishment. I wish you the very best of luck in your forthcoming exams, job applications, grad school applications, or whatever challenges you face in the future. And I eagerly await to see the wonderful things you do as we move forward in our lives. Thank you.